Pritchard from 50. Darren Pritchard has it.
Well, now
it's a line ball, could go any way. I felt that Port would win, but I think with Chadban out of the side, I think the odds are in Springvale's favour.
Good on you, Phil. Look forward to hearing you during the day. All right, yesterday we had Melbourne and Hawthorn. What a ripper. This is community football. Hope you enjoy the day. On the boundary line is Tony Leonard.
Good afternoon, Drew. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. What can I say? It's the grand final of the VFA at the Junction Oval with the two form sides, Port Melbourne and Springvale. And as Phil has reported, Chadban is out of the side and legendary Ian Strop Cooper comes in to take his place. And I just thought it might be worthwhile to mention to the boys up in the commentary box, I've been down to the rooms and Phil Malin has a touch of the flu. He's all right, but, you know, it may affect his game. He was best on the ground in the second semi-final. The betting about even money each of two. And just the atmosphere in the rooms, a little bit different. Springvale a little laid back. Port Melbourne's George Allen, very, very tense. Hopefully we're in for a great game. The last two grand finals have been fantastic. Let's hope for a good one. Peter G.
Thanks very much, Tony Leonard. Indeed, it is going to be a good one. There's a big crowd on hand. The breeze is going from right to left or straight down the goal as we look from the Fitzroy Street end. And that paper sitting pretty still at the moment, but about a 3-goal breeze we estimate down there on the ground, though as you can see from that pocket it is swirling a little bit. And it's Port Melbourne. There's Ian Cooper in shot. He's had hamstring trouble and he's got that thermal bandage around his right thigh. And will he stand up to it? That's the question. But there was a lot of speculation about Chadban, and the mail that Phil Cleary received yesterday turned out to be right, that Chadban is not in the lineup. So that's a little worry for Port before the first bounce, but they've won the toss and are going with the breeze in the first term. So they'll be going to the scoreboard end where most of the scoring took place in the second division grand final, and I can tell you that the two Blues, Paran, are back in first division. They were in control for most of the day against Waverley, so Paran have come from third place to win the grand final in second division, 18-9 117 to Waverley's 14-14 98. So a 19-point win for Paran in second division. They entered VFA football in 1885, the same year Port Melbourne did. They're the equal 7th oldest clubs in the country. Is that an omen for Port this afternoon? The Boroughs in the red and blue stripes. Springvale playing in their first ever grand final after entering VFA football in 1982. They won the second division flag the year after, and 3 years finishing 9th in first division. Now they find themselves in a grand final.
And it's hotting up there on the back line too. Dermott into it with Allender straight away. Dermott, of course, who had his nose broken in the last game, the preliminary final. This, of course, is fairly typical for VFA grand finals. A little bit of a nudge up early in the game. Plenty of pressure.
And the umpires for the big one, who are going to have their hands full, are Graham Casey, who umpired the second division grand final last year, first this year, and Jeff Morrow.
Yes, two good umpires.
And, well, that seems like the only scuffle we're going to get before the start of the game. Allender is looking after Nickel. And we're about to get underway. The 1987 VFA Grand Final. It's Port Melbourne against Springvale. Port going with the breeze from right to left. Snedden takes the ruck work and gives it to Witzel. Can't get away with it. Holding the ball's the decision. That was red hot. So the first free kick, first positive possession of the match goes the way of the Vales.
And Springvale into attack up towards half forward. Ball comes to the back of the pack. Springvale moving into attack. Vernon decked after he got rid of his kick by Allender, and a relayed free up the ground, and the free kick will be taken for goal from about 35 metres. And in possession, Emmett Dunn, the former VFL champ who played in a premiership team. A bit lucky maybe to be playing because he was reported and sent off in the second semi-final, wasn't suspended, and so Emmett Dunn can take his place in the team today. Emmett Dunn, number 14.
This will be a good test, Drew, this kick, actually, to see how strong the wind is. It was a silly free kick to give away early in the game, though.
Oh, that is a beautiful kick. It gets home. That's the non-scoring end, and a big break to Springvale in the opening minute of the game.
Yes, Drew, you really can't afford to give away goals like that. You're kicking with the breeze. You need to take every advantage, and we see it down here. Vernon takes the ball off the pack. Allender a little bit over-exuberant here early in the game. You see him come into the picture now. Not a serious blow, but a silly one. And then a goal to Springvale. Bad start for Port.
So the goal comes up after a minute and a half. Again, Stenton wins the tap down to Witzel again. Carbon copy, but they've got it up into their forward line now, Port Melbourne. Oh, the bounce is a good one. Met heavily was Rodder. And Foy doing a good job back there in defence, running along the boundary line with Mutimer. Play on calls the umpire. Oh, Foy, he's beaten the odds there and done very well. Holds up Port on the half-forward line. Don't know where her heart is this afternoon.
She's wearing a heart on her eyes.
Bounce right forward flank for Port Melbourne. Springvale drawing first blood. Vernon, tackle went up high, but it's let go. Kick off the ground from Jennings. Chance now for Dempster. Goes for the boundary line. Vernon's back there. Sort of looks like a midget version of Hulk Hogan. Vernon, doesn't he, with that long blonde hair. And he's a pretty solid customer.
Took a few whacks in the last game too.
Throw in forward line for Springvale. Phil Nayland underneath it. The umpire will ball it up. And a big crowd is here already and building up even as the game started. Fantastic conditions. Vernon goes in to dispossess. Witzel for goal. Kick smothered. About 20 metres out from goal. Hurried kick there by McCormack. The ball goes. That was Wall.
Yeah, up in attack.
Through for a minor score. So Port get their first score. Springvale lead a goal to a behind.
King. Interesting to see which is the defensive side of the ground as Foy takes a good mark. Played a good game in the second semi, which was won by Springvale by 21 points over the head of Hicks, and it finds Mead. Mead just backward of the wing. Oh, good strong mark in the middle of the pack to Wall, so he's back in defence now. Oh, he's headbutted the man to the ground, and he's given away the free, so Port have done it again. So
that's not good play, Peter. They've got to settle down, worry about just getting the ball and making the best use of it.
Stewart up towards the goal line. Mark, them it done again.
Yes, well, Peter, Dunn's going to be a handful there for Rainsford. He's a big occasion player, experienced. We see him in front. Good mark, and also it came again from a silly free kick upfield.
This an easier shot than the one he put through from about 50. Only about 20 metres out, similar angle. He allows too much for the breeze. So Emmett Dunn has done all